Okay. We're going live here. Not quite live yet. We're working on it. All right, we're popping up and we're live. All right.
Let's here we go.
Here we go.
I
Here,
see it.
hear all the bings coming in.
Yeah.
Dong, 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 dong. Everyone's all
here.
like, hey, yeah, we're live.
Cool.
Okay, well, welcome to Tuesday.
I'm
Yeah,
just
there we go. I heard myself talk. So I think we can hear ourselves too. And hey, cool. Today we're also streaming on 2 new platforms. We're streaming on Periscope, which we haven't really been on before, and we're streaming on YouTube. That's one of the that's one of the cool things about
Hi, YouTube.
One of the cool things about Restream, what we're doing here, is that we can stream on multiple platforms at the same time. So we're on Facebook. We're on like 5 different channels on Facebook. They're on Periscope and YouTube, and I think as we add more channels and stuff like that, and we kind of figure out where we want to be, we'll totally be able to add new streams so we can go live to so many different places.
Cool.
So we got somebody who said hello. The only problem is with this Restream thing, I cannot see who I'm talking to. So I'm going to say hi, good morning, or I mean good afternoon. It's almost like evening in a lot of places.
Yeah, it is.
And we just finally got our acting gear and said, hey, we're going to jump on live today and connect with everybody, because I mean we had a lot of fun last week.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just opening up all our various channels that we're going live on, just so that I can see actual comments. Can you just comment below and let us know that you can hear us and see us? Maybe let us know where you're at and what you're up to today. Feels like a Monday, but it's not. It's Tuesday. It was a nice long weekend.
Yeah, I hope everyone had a great weekend. It was kind of over here. It's like, was it a weekend or was it just a normal day? I mean, I think with isolation and this whole COVID thing, with a lot of businesses opening up though too, hard to say whether it was was it a weekend or not.
Yeah.
Because we did the exact same thing that we've been doing for a couple of months, which is wrangle the kids and get some work done at the same time.
Okay, I see Deb Ridley, John O'Connell, Charlene Turnbull. Just start shouting people out like I said the other day. Good old romper room welcome.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's perfect.
So what are we going to talk about today, Jason?
All right, so today, as our fancy new title, fancy schmancy title says down here, where we can do that, we're going to talk about slow traffic versus fast traffic and what the difference is. And really, I think we're gonna get into some specifics on what does that mean for different platforms. So what is fast traffic on Facebook? What is slow traffic on Facebook? What is fast traffic in Google, and what is slow traffic in Google? Because here's the thing, we've had a lot of people reach out to us lately and ask for, hey, can you help me with this? Can you give me more information on that? And the thing that they're asking for is not this and that. It is, they're asking for, hey, can we do SEO? Can we get more customers? Can we get more traffic? Can we get more eyes on our website? So I think there needs to be a little bit of clarity behind what is really a short game, a fast game that you can use to kind of get traffic, get customers looking at your stuff quickly, versus what is going to take longer and slower, because a lot of people are coming to us and saying, hey, I want to get SEO, right? I want my website to show up at the top of Google. Now there's a few different places in Google where your website is going to show up now, and we're going to get into that. But when people are asking for SEO, maybe people don't understand that SEO can be a long game. It can take a while to go from, hey, if you're on the 7th or 8th page of Google, or you're not showing up at all, it could take you weeks or months to get to the top of the listing then. And then with SEO, is that even where you want to be?
Can we just actually really quickly rewind and explain what SEO is?
Go ahead. No, SEO
because I think like it's something that it's interesting, because it is something that most small businesses do come to us for. It's the first thing that usually people realize, like, I need better SEO. And so SEO stands for search engine optimization. And basically what it is something that you do with your website in order to start ranking higher on Google. And so it used to be a lot of a bigger, weirder kind of like gray area thing where back in the day you would pay somebody, and I know we still talk to quite a few people who do pay somebody a monthly fee to do like backlinking and do like a bunch of really weird things that usually you actually don't even really as a business owner understand or can see. But they're things that somebody that's maybe a little bit more technical would go into the back end of your website and just optimize it so that Google can find your site easier and quicker when somebody is searching for something specifically online. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's such a bigger world than anyone can even think. We're just like saying, hey, we want to optimize our SEO, which is our search engine optimization. But what does that even mean, right? So what that typically means. So here, well, should we just jump into Google? What Google is here?
Yeah.
So let's just jump into Google. And the thing is, with Google, they're always changing this thing in the background called the algorithm, right? They're changing this algorithm thing around because what they don't want is people gaming the system, right? They don't want illegitimate businesses or content that is just spammy to get to the top of the listings because
you've got links on there.
Right, because so I mean it's gone through evolutions of what works and what doesn't work. But what's working today really is the amount of time that somebody spends on your website, the content they're consuming, and what kind of brand you're building for your business online. And if we take a look at Google as a whole, if you take a look at the top of Google, the first thing that you're going to see, do any search for any business, not a business name, but a type of business. Like let's say like landscaping and then put your city, or put web design and then put your city, and then, or, childcare and then put your city. What you're going to see is first thing that's going to happen at the top is you're going to see advertising, right? Those are the ads. Those are the things that Google wants to sell. That's the whole reason, the whole way that Google makes money is through all of those ads, right? The next thing you're going to see below that now, which has changed in the last couple of years, is you're going to see Google Maps. So that's changed hands from like used to be Google Business, Google Places, Google Plus, Google Maps. Now it is called Google My Business.
Google My Business.
Google My Business, right? And the interesting thing is, I think people are confused. We confuse that. Okay, so on the next, let me before I get into that whole thing, the next thing below that is our SEO, right? Those are the search engine results for the the topics and the questions and the stuff that you're looking for, and they're typically not questions that are like, how do I fix my roof, or roofing installer in whatever city. So what happens is we've got our ads at the top is where Google makes their money. We've got Google My Business, which is the maps listing for local searches. And Google is really pushing these now. And then underneath that is we have our search engine results, which is more typically our traditional SEO. So, I mean, this could be boring the crap out of you. But I think it's interesting to know because Google My Business now, those three things are three separate entities within Google, and they all take different skills and techniques to get up to the top of them. So Google Ads is AdWords. So we typically be running ads in there, and that's where we want to have like landing pages, and we want to have.
Hang on.
Whoa! Don't put the brakes on me.
You're going really fast.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Let's slow this down.
Yeah, we're slowing it down for a second. We're going to back up for a moment here. And so that is what SEO is just how do you rank on Google?
I just talked about
and
three
how
things.
you can improve your site to show up on Google faster and on top of other people. Okay, then there's Google My Business. And then there's obviously paid traffic you can put behind your Google plan in order to show up really on top without spending months on your SEO on your website. Okay.
So
now
you're gonna pay for all three, but they're in different currencies. One is if you're gonna do ads, it's gonna cost you money to get to the top. But here's the thing, that's fast traffic, right? You're gonna pay. You can, if you have your AdWords campaign set up, you can be at the top of Google within an hour.
Yeah.
An hour.
Totally.
You can set up your ads, you can create your copy, target who you want, build that out really simply, and you can have ads running for anybody looking for your business or your competitors or whatever it is really, really fast. You know, the next thing is Google My Business. And what we've been finding is Google My Business is definitely slower than Google AdWords, because the thing is you need to get on there and then you need to request permission. You need to be verified. They're being very, very strict right now with how that's working. And Google wants to basically control all the traffic that's coming through Facebook or Google, and they want you to stay on their platform longer and longer, because the more you do, the more ads you're typically going to click and the more money they're going to make. So you'll notice right now is, even if you see in Google Maps there, you're going to see your listing, you're going to see website, you're going to see phone number. And now what we're finding is like 47% of people who are going into Google and taking a look at that, they're clicking through right to the website, or they're clicking phone number. And actually, so when they don't click through to your website, it's called a zero click search. So more and more people are doing that, because now we have also this thing that comes up called the knowledge panel, right? Which is also like a mini website within Google, which has your business information on it.
I feel like we're getting too complicated.
No.
So that's like a whole other individual training on its own, Jason. And I challenge you to just create a really quick mini training all around like the one thing, because that's really hard to like. Right. That's really hard for me anyway. For my brain, it's like, what? It's a lot. So
what do you want to talk about?
So here's what I wanted to talk about is what the difference is between, first of all, what the difference is between social media versus Google.
Okay.
I think that would be cool. And then I think
I think it's super important.
Yeah, I think it is important to understand, you know, what the two different platforms are.
I can clearly go off on tangents.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I think let's talk about social media versus Google and what kind of traffic those two platforms are. And then I want to talk about paid traffic versus organic. So organic meaning you're not paying for it. I put SEO in under organic marketing. Google My Business is optimizing that is another organic way to grow your business.
All right? So we're talking organic versus paid here.
Sort of.
Should have just been more clear when you're telling me what you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah. So I think let's talk about I want to chat about social media versus Google. Okay. So why would it be beneficial to get on top of Google? Why would it be beneficial to pay for Google AdWords so that you land on top, or to work on your Google My Business page so that you do show up on top? Why is that important? So with Google, when we think about what we're offering for a service or a product or whatever it is that you're promoting, or whatever your small business is, your local business, when somebody's on Google, they're actively searching for what you offer. I think that's the biggest difference between Google and social media, okay? Is that normally if somebody is like, I really need my roof done, I really need a contractor, I really want my house painted,
so
I really want a landscaper,
you're getting into people who know they have a problem and they're looking for somebody to...
That's right. They know that they have the problem. They're ready to take action. And so then they're on Google, like looking for what you have to offer, which is why it is beneficial to work on your SEO long term so that you do show up organically when somebody's searching for what you have to offer. But then it also is beneficial to pay for some ads and set that up so that you land up on top. Like, you know, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a house cleaner, whatever it may be, if I'm actively looking on Google, if I'm looking
for a chiropractor near me. So that's one of the other things with where we're going from SEO and the Google My Business thing, right? Is the Google My Business thing with the maps is we're getting more into people who are looking for this service or product near me, you know, so it's going to come up either in your city or your portion of the city or whatever that is. But again, that is more organic listings and you're not going to be paying for that. But within Google AdWords you can also pay to be part of, to be at the top of those lists as well if you want to pay. So like I said before, you're going to be with SEO or Google My Business, you're going to be paying with your energy and time to get to the top.
For sure.
Right. Whereas with AdWords in all its various forms, you're going to be paying with money to get to the top.
That's right. And there's different strategies that we put behind all these different types of traffic that we'll probably create separate trainings around. Jason started to mention different landing pages and stuff like that. The reason for that is that you got to think of Google as a business, and anybody who's searching on Google is their customer. And so they want to make sure they're sending traffic. They're sending your new customer to a site that makes sense, that has the content that they're actually looking for.
It's way more. It's way more important than that. It's because, I mean, we don't want to have a disconnect between what someone is searching for and what they actually get to see.
That's right. Or if they need to dig around, if they land on your homepage and they need to dig around to see if you actually do offer the service that they're looking for. So
then those
are things, with SEO that these days it's more about the quality of the content on your site and stuff like that. Okay. Now, social media, the difference between Google and social media is that on social media, somebody may not know that what you offer is even an option. People are not normally actively searching on Facebook to solve a problem, right? But if you start showing up in front of people, then you're opening up their eyes to what the possibilities are. So as an example, let's take a cleaner, like a housekeeping company, okay? On Google, if I was searching for that, I would be looking for reviews on your Google My Business page. What are your reviews like? Is it easy to book with you through your website? Like, what shows up quick?
Phone number,
and
website.
If it's a pain in the butt to get in touch with you, then I'm going to go and I'm probably not going to take action.
Well, I think it's a clear sign of a business who has their stuff under control. If you've got all these things filled out, you're going to come across as a more professional business and someone who legit has their stuff together.
Totally.
In order to be like, hey, I want customers.
Totally. Whereas with social media, if something landed in my newsfeed in front of me that was like more building relationship and more like, is your house a total disaster right now? I can help. I may not have woken up in the morning thinking I really need to get somebody to clean my house. But if that landed in front of me in my news feed, I would be more open to the idea, right? I would be more like, oh, wait, maybe I should do that. Like, oh, look at that cream. Look at that new, that hairstylist posts that cool picture of a new haircut. Like, things you don't wake up in the morning being like, oh, I'm going to Google that. But it lands in front of you via social media and it opens up your eyes to what you could do.
Yeah, it's more like I'm going to say Google is more kind of like the yellow pages of things, right? The Google and all its things are kind of more like the yellow pages of the past, where you knew you needed something. You were looking for, I need an excavator, I need a haircut, I need a lawn care, I need a dentist, whatever it is. You're jumping in there and you're doing a search for it to find out which one's near you. You find which one kind of looks the best to you based on, our ad, which is now our profile and everything that's out there. And then you're going to click through to that and call and, make the appointment or whatever it is, right? Facebook is going to be kind of more like you're kind of like in the checkout at the grocery store and you're kind of like just sitting there browsing, waiting for your thing. And then you're seeing what catches your eye. Hey, that caught my eye there. Oh yeah, I do need a landscaper. That would be awesome if someone took care of that. Oh, hey, I need Tupperware, whatever it is. It's, if that stuff pops up in front of you, or there's information about it, there's a system that we've put together. I'm just going to just mention it really quickly. It's called the AIM method, and it's active interest marketing. So what we're doing through social media is that we're actively engaging people with stuff that they're interested in, to get them to click, to watch video views and do stuff like that, so that we can retarget them and allow you to build a better relationship with your customers, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's in your business that that your customers are interested in. So when we can create videos and content and educational material around it, we can see, the coolest thing is in the back end of Facebook, you can see who has watched this video for 30 seconds, who has watched it for 2 minutes, who has watched the whole thing all the way through. And you can gauge engagement through that, and then be able to follow up with them with more stuff like offers and stuff like that that are going to build relationships and get them to click and come through to your offer.
So what else? What else, Jay? We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about like slow versus fast, probably, right? Like
so. Yeah. So here's the thing. It's really easy to remember. Organic is slow. Paid is fast. That's really it. That's really it. Organic takes a much longer time to build up. And some platforms really like organic. Some platforms don't like organic at all. So when you hear somebody say, "Oh, social media doesn't work to grow your business," it's typically because they haven't put the time in organically to be able to see the results from that. Or the same thing is with Google. To get SEO working properly, to get optimized, you need to kind of like research that and see how that all works out. And then you also need, for Google My Business, you have to go through the steps and fill out all the fields. Get the reviews, reach out to your customers and ask for reviews. You need to put in photos. You need to be linking up all your platforms together to show Facebook and Google that you have this brand authority in the marketplace that says, hey, we have a YouTube channel. We're on Twitter. We've got Instagram. We're on Facebook. We've got reviews on Yelp. We have all this. And that's what shows Google and stuff like that, that you are an authentic brand in the industry and that you're going to rise more to the top that way too. So fast versus slow.
Yeah, fast versus slow. So when we talk about fast as in paid traffic, when you've dialed some other things in, like we've heard, this is actually what inspired this topic today. Was the other day somebody posted inside of our private Facebook group that Facebook ads just have never worked for them. And that is something that I've primarily spent the last 5 years doing, is running Facebook ads to target local markets for local businever, right? And they never, how do you word that? They always work.
They never don't work. Let's triple negative the crap out of this. They never don't work.
They work. They work.
That's because there's a system.
It's what comes before that, right? And so with Google, yes, they work. As long as you are sending people to the right page, as long as you're writing the right offers, as long as you've got the right strategy in place, it all works.
Well, so imagine this for a second. You go to Google, you look for, I want to order a pizza. Okay. Up at the top, there's an ad for pizza. Okay. You're like, cool, right on. I want to order pizza right now. You click on that link and then it takes you to a page that's about steaks. You know what I mean? And it's a landing page for a restaurant that they primarily do steaks. But, somewhere in their menu, they have pizzas, and they're saying, okay, well, you can order for a pizza from us, but you have to go dig through the menu and see if you can find pizzas somewhere in the maze of our website so that you can get that. Versus...
Are you going to do that, or are you going to click back and go
say,
find...
no, I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
I want to order pizza now, right? So you go back to Google and you do a search again, and you say pizzas. Okay, so no, and you click the next one in the list that says pizzas. Okay, it comes up and you're presented with a landing page that says we have the best, most amazing pizzas. It's got beautiful pictures of pizzas with gooey cheese and sauce all coming out of it with words that are like whatever. But I mean, which one are you going to click from? Like, who are you going to order from, right? The one that you have to dig through the site, or the one that actually just shows you the thing that you're searching for?
And another really good point too is, we can go on about this topic for hours and hours. That's why I said maybe we should break it down into smaller trainings. But then the next step is businesses that do the best with this stuff is if they've got some form of a sense of urgency, or download this coupon right now, like a landscaping company. Guess what? Your first initial yard cleanup, we're going to discount that, whatever, right? So those are the things that you need to think about before you just start running ads. You can't just run an ad, especially on social media, where I may not be looking for what you're offering. That's usually the number one thing with paid traffic is buy my thing. just come buy my thing, you know, without warming anybody up yet. Nobody really knows who you are or what you even offer, if they should trust you or not. And so if you're just running ads to your website, like, buy this thing, then that on social media does not work. Whereas on Google, it could potentially, because somebody's already actively searching for that thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So would you say if somebody had to choose between one or the other, what would you say? This is like, I'm putting you on the spot here with this question, but like, what are your thoughts around that?
That's simple. It really depends on what you're selling, right? It depends. I think both. Ideally, you have both. And so I was writing a few different proposals this week, and the thing is, people can't have come and said, hey, I want SEO, because I think that's kind of like a buzzword. That's something that people know. They say, I want SEO. I want to be at the top of Google, right? So when we're writing this proposal, here's the things that have come up always. And we have, again, we're talking about fast traffic versus slow traffic, right? So ideally, you do it all. You know, here's the thing. If you're going to pick one platform like Google, here's the thing. You do paid traffic right now to get yourself to the top as fast as you can. In the meantime, you are also working on you're building your foundation, right? Because I mean, your website, your landing pages, all that is the foundation of your marketing online. Everything is going to come back to your website. From social media, it's going to come to your website. From Google, it's going to come. Instagram, YouTube, all that is going to be leading back to your website, right? So if you're driving traffic, if you're doing ads and you're like, hey, I just want to do ads right now, you don't have to work on your SEO. You don't have to work on your Google My Business. If that's not important to you, and you have the budget just to be like,
you just want to get busy now.
You just want to be busy now.
That you want to provide right
get
now.
Get ads ads up and running right now. Same thing with Facebook. Exactly the same thing. Like, what would you do?
Would you spend a month creating like an organic content calendar,
reaching out to everybody, trying to do all the different stuff?
Yeah. Or, you know, right now, a lot of businesses that are just opening back up, like mad love and huge shout out to all of you who are just opening up your doors today, like salons, restaurants, yay, like decks, all that stuff is opening back up. But you know what? Maybe you could download your email list into Facebook and just run an ad letting people know on your list that you're open now.
Well, people don't even know that you can do that. That's a thing, right? That is a thing that you can do. if you have a list of customers already in an email database, and here's the thing, if you're not building a list, you need to be building a list because the money is in the list. So
I thought it was in the banana stand.
The money is there's always money in the banana stand. You could take that list and you can upload that into Facebook, and then you can use that to target those people that you're already doing business with, right?
Yeah, totally.
There's so many back end things that you can do that unless you're doing the research and learning about it, it's not really going to jump out at you or do that. And I understand that because we're all busy, right? We're all busy building our businesses, running our businesses, fulfilling orders, making all that stuff happen. And that's what our job is. Our job is to distill that information down so that you know what you can do. So going back to your question here, again, with Facebook, it's do we want to get customers now or do we want to get customers later, right? And I think both absolutely 100% have their place. And I think ideally, if you can be working on both, right? Yeah. Put a little bit of money into ad spend so that you're getting in front of customers that you're never going to see, that you would never normally talk to in the city that you're in. And then also be working on your organic so that you're just reaching out to the customers that are already familiar with you, right? I was talking to someone the other day and they said, word of mouth on Facebook has been the greatest thing for me. And that's cool. But here's the problem is just doing organic Facebook just through your own Facebook page. You're not reaching customers or you're not reaching new customers who don't already know you and like you and follow you, right? You're not reaching that audience that is just outside your friends list, right? And that's what ads are going to do for you. You're going to allow you to reach those people who would normally never see what you got, but definitely want to eat tacos if you're selling tacos.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Well, this one made me hungry. What are you going to cook today?
I don't know.
We're going to start talking about?
I don't know what we're having for supper yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty quiet on live right now. It's probably like people are like busy. It's 5 o'clock. I know, like out CST, it's later, a little bit like a weird time, maybe 4 o'clock to go live, but we like are making ourselves do this now again.
Well,
after the weekend. We kind of fell off a little, so we were like, we're doing it today.
So
we're doing it today.
I was doing a little bit of looking into some like online traffic and doing stuff like that, talking about organic posting. And here's the thing: the more you show up, the more customers you're going to be able to reach. Anyways, was going through a little presentation earlier today, and here's the thing: I found out there's Grant Cardone, who has like the Grant Cardone 10X, huge real estate investor guy, who the $100 million man. He goes live. He posts to Twitter on average 17 times a day. Mm-hmm. He posts to Facebook 6 times a day. Posts to Instagram 2 times a day.
It's crazy.
And he does a podcast every day. Yeah. And he goes live every single day with his content. And his goal is to be the billion dollar man. And that's his new goal, right? And that's the amount of energy and stuff that he's putting into it. He has people on his team who's building all his stuff and doing all that kind of stuff, where he's outsourcing and doing all that stuff, but he is focusing on creating content that his customers love in order to resonate with them, grow with them, sell them stuff, make them offers, and build that up. And man, is it working?
Yeah, totally. And I think for us, we're doing this right now to figure out as well, what do you guys love to hear? What would you guys like to learn about? What would you like us to jump on and chat about? Like, was this interesting to you? Could Jason have talked longer about certain things, or did your eyes glaze over? Like, it's important for us to know that, you know? Well, what would light you guys up, because we're here to have fun and do this, right?
So, I mean, what this all comes back to, though, is how do you make more money online? How do you reach more customers and get in front of more of your customers? And how are you going to sell them, really? So, Facebook and Google, 2 fantastic. Okay, by the way, Facebook also owns Instagram. And Instagram is when you're advertising on Facebook, we're also talking about Instagram. I think that's something that we don't usually clarify too often, is that Facebook owns Instagram. So running Facebook ads is also running Instagram ads, because they're on the same platform. So you can do that thing, that whole system of generating leads and interest through Instagram right through Facebook. So this is all about how do we get more customers? How do we get in front of more people? And how do we present them with offers that, no brainer, unbelievable offers that they're going to bite, so that we can make them customers.
Mm-hmm. Especially right now, now more than ever, because people are ready. People are ready to start making some decisions based on, like, what are they going to go get their hair cut? Are they going to get help in their home? Are they going to, all of these things,
Well, it's a huge time right now for anybody working landscaping, renovations, that kind of stuff. As soon as we start opening up, people have been stuck at home for so long that they're like, I need a change. Yeah. I need a change right now. People are going to be looking at hair salons. They're going to be like, I need a completely new do. I want something completely different. People looking at their yard saying, I want a completely new yard. I want to renovate my house. Home and building centers like that, those things are all going crazy. Landscapers, I know a ton of landscapers. They are busy right now, and restaurants are opening up. People are going to be excited to get back out there.
And I think it's like, as a local business, it's important right now to really start figuring out how you're going to get in front of people, so that, people don't just start swarming back to Winners or swarming back to like some of the big box options there are out there. And so that everybody does really stick with shop local and stay local. Like, I think that's been a really big shift over the last 2 months. A lot of people are really understanding now that for the economy, it's important to support local, to like,
well, really, people want to support local now because they're also seeing their friends and their relatives and their family struggling with their business,
Yeah.
right? Everyone, when you have your business up and running, everyone's like, "Oh, you're doing great. You're so successful. You know, I saw your advertising in the
You
magazine.
must be doing great.
Right? You guys are doing great because you put an ad out.
Yeah.
You know. Meanwhile, you're going like, I don't know how the hell we're going to pay for that ad. I hope we can get some money for that. I hope customers coming for next. I hope it's not a waste of money.
True story,
you know?
Right? True story.
Right.
And so I think, but it's important to get you, like, people don't know. They don't know that you're open or what you have to offer. And they're very stuck right now too. So the more we can show up in these two different ways, paid and organic, and really like create a balance there, and come up with a really good idea and just go for it instead of.
Well, here's the thing is your marketing should be an investment, right? You shouldn't be losing money on your marketing. And I think that's one of the hardest things to get our heads wrapped around, is because most marketing is like throw it out and pray. I hope that makes some money. I hope that works. I hope I get a customer from it. You know, hey, I just spent $2,500 and put an ad in a magazine. I hope it brings something in, right? You know, I put something in the newspaper. I put something on the radio, and that's a difference between traditional marketing and kind of what we do and what we're teaching you about and what we're showing you is that everything that you can do online has measurable results so that you know whether it's working. And here's the thing, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie. You can look at the numbers and you can say people are watching those video views. You know, people are clicking through. People are contacting us. People are calling this phone number. You know, all that information is out there and we can track the whole thing. And you can track the whole thing, right? So that you know whether a campaign is actually working or if it's not. So it's not just this throw money out and see what happens. It's, hey, let's put a little bit of money out. Let's see what are the results. Okay, we're getting some results. Let's put a little bit more money in. You know, let's put a little bit more money in, a little bit more money in, a little bit more money in. As it grows and it's getting more results, you know, and that's how marketing needs to be done, especially if you're a small business, because we can't afford to just do the pray and stick method. You know, the throw and stick, does the spaghetti stick against the wall or not? And,
well, like I can say from experience, well, and you can too, but with our hair salons, they're like I entered that space really before social media. There was MySpace, which I loved. Another story. But really there wasn't like social media for business. And so we had 3 different salons over the course of, I don't know, about 8 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And the middle one makes me think of our daughter's trying to write a story like The 3 Little Pigs, and this is actually this could be a really good book. But like the middle one was like this monster of a salon. It was 1,800 square feet.
It was 3,600 square feet altogether.
Yeah, up and down. So we had 3,600 square feet. Jason built like a giant photography studio.
Video.
Like it was insane. It was giant.
It was awesome.
And it was beautiful. And it was right on the corner of like one of the busiest high traffic streets downtown in Regina. Mm-hmm. And I legit was like, how can we not be busy? Like we're in such a busy, like people would sit there in traffic sometimes for the traffic lights would switch 3 times before a car could move. They were like stuck looking at us every single day, you know? And I hired a bunch of staff and was whatever, had big payroll and all of this stuff and all these big dreams. And then I realized one day that it was up to us to build everybody's clientele. Like it was up to us to build everybody's business instead of me thinking all those huge service providers were going to build their own business within our business. And so I started saying yes to every single thing. Like we did. We spent money on radio. We spent money on billboards. We spent money on magazines. We gave things away to like anything we could. We
yellow
showed up
pages,
and
like
oh man, it was like our yellow pages
phone
bill
books,
was
like,
through the roof. We did like a whole page in the phone book, like every single thing that we could do.
Yeah.
And I remember, first of all, lots of times there was no instant gratification from that. Like I would get a call a year later from a bride that would say, well, I saw your article in that magazine like a year ago and now I'm planning my wedding. So stuff like that works, but it's long game stuff. Like if you're doing that stuff consistently and creatively enough to stand out, it does work, but it's still not really measurable. Like you spend all of this money on all of these things, and I legit did. I was like, I'm saying yes to every single thing. We had every single thing because we just ads had running. To do it. And that was where, you know, until I realized that I had to figure out a way to track it. So the one radio station, I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do Monday haircuts, like some kind of a promotion that went with that radio ad.
Yep.
So that we could actually track who was coming from that specifically. But mostly it was already our existing clientele and our friends and our family that were like, you guys are killing it. Yeah. Wow. Even, like you must be doing so well.
Yeah. Even
right?
for Think Big Studios, I mean, we did a thing where we put up 3 billboards for 2 months or something like that. And every single client told me that they saw our billboards, you know.
Like, I don't think we generated any new revenue from that. Maybe a new client called and then would click and they would see, they would see that we had a billboard up so that it would give us authority, like a bit more authority. But there was no like direct like correlation between what we were putting out in advertising and what we were getting back until we started running ads online. Because then it was like we're spending X amount a month on our ads. We're getting X amount back in on a one-time, whatever that thing is. We're doing coupons, we're doing
trials, we're doing that kind of stuff.
So it's trackable, you know, but then where you really make your money is when you build a relationship in the long run, which is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. What was it?
Yeah.
I have it written down.
What did you have written down?
I have it written down. I will sing to you while I find it.
Yeah, so I mean that's a huge difference between what you can do now, the new version of marketing,
you don't make
online
a sale
marketing. That is what we're going to talk about earlier. I actually thought about that when you said that earlier.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure.
So many sticky notes.
I wasn't sure if that was the 1,000 notes that you have written out.
I've got like sticky notes, all these ideas for you guys. Look at this. There's like hundreds of sticky notes. This is what I have to do.
That is totally one thing that we're talking about tomorrow is you don't get a customer to make a sale. You make a sale to get a customer. You know, we're going to dive into that. You're like, well, that is the exact same thing, right? What's the difference between a sale or a customer? We're talking transaction versus lifelong customers who are going to continue to pay you over and over and over again.
That's right. And that's what we want, right? We don't want just one time customers. I mean, unless you are doing a roof.
No, I want those customers. I want those referrals. I want customers to come back 10 years later and tell me that they need a new roof. They buy a house.
Yeah.
They need a new roof on that one. They need a new roof on their cabin. I want that job. I want to redo their shed. I want, all those things. I want repeat customers who know, love, and trust me to continue to hire me out for anything that they've got going on.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to jump on live to chat about tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments below. I am hoping you're going to grab us on the replay here. Just comment below, comment along as you watch when you've got time. Let us know if you've got any questions around any of this stuff. If you've got a specific, you obviously do have a specific business. If you want any input or advice around how you throw
it a specific how-to, even throw at your business and say, hey, this is what I do.
Totally.
How can you help me? Or what would you do in this case? You
know? And maybe what we'll do is we'll start a list and then maybe we'll dedicate one day a week to just going through and quickly doing rapid fire
hot seats.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And give you guys a shout out and let you know what we would do for your strategy, for your marketing plan, and how we would structure what your long game and what your slow. Are you the tortoise and the hare, and how that can all come together?
So quickly, I'm going to do a quick shout out to Justin from Gym Star Pro, was it, for inviting a ton of new members over to the Rise and Thrive local group. I think that's awesome. We're really excited to see a bunch of people in there. You can head to gymstar.ca or gymstarproshop.ca, and you can check out supplements. You can check out
they've
clothing.
got a great thing
they've
going
got
there
a
for sure.
really, really wicked looking gym in Regina, Saskatchewan, for anybody who's interested in that once they're able to open back up. But I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Justin.
And share this with anybody who you feel would find this valuable, no matter what type of business you're building or that you've had for 20 or 30 years. Like, how can we help you look at things in a new way, in a different way, and help you rise and thrive?
And thrive. All right. Okay. We're going to sign off, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.
Bye.